guys, my name is Megan and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I hope you guys are doing well and staying safe, and welcome to today's video, which is the first of 2 TBRs for the month of September. Today we are talking about all the books I want to read during my month-long readathon. If you missed my announcement video, I will put it up in the cards and description for you guys, but basically I created a readathon for the month of September based off all of my favorite middle grade books, and combined they created this academy with different departments that you can join, and just we're gonna have a blast all month. Now I will say September is going to be extremely ambitious for me because there will also be my Candyland TBR, and I'm just trying to read all the books. I am also trying to read like basically a book a prompt for my readathon, which like you don't necessarily have to do. So we have big goals, so grab a snack, grab a drink, and let's get through my TBR for this readathon. The first prompt in the readathon is Arcane Ethics, which is to read a book that teaches you a lesson, or a book featuring good versus evil, and for that I'm going with Amari and the Despicable Wonders. It's the third book in the Amari and the Night Brothers series by B.B. Olsen, which releases like end of August, so it's on its way to me right now. I have the Waterstones edition coming and I'm extremely excited. Obviously Amari is a huge inspiration for this entire readathon with all the different departments, and so I thought it was extremely fitting to, you know, include that one, and such an anticipated release. So that is what I'm going to be using to fulfill that prompt. For Geography of Everbloom Academy, it's to read a book with a map or travel words. For that, I chose Skandar in the Chaos Trials by A.F. Stedman, and just to prove that it works for this prompt, there's a big map right in the front of it. This I am specifically putting on my TBR because it will be the book that we're reading for my read-along of Skandar for the month of September. The live show for the second book is already set up on my channel if you want to click notify me to not forget to come and partake in the discussion for book 2. But, you know, we gotta move on to book 3 and prepare ourselves for book 4, which releases in October. If you want more information on the series, I highly recommend watching my announcement video or my review for Skandar 1. The third prompt is History of Magic, a book featuring magic. I could essentially read anything off my TBR. However, I am planning on reading Rewitched. I have the Waterstones exclusive copy pre-ordered. However, it comes out like near the end of September, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time to read it or not, but like it's my first priority. If not, I'm gonna pick another middle grade book off my shelf that is like middle grade fantasy, and that's gonna fulfill the prompt, or I might even double up depending on where exactly I am at that stage in the readathon. But just know that obviously this book is like witchy, it fulfills a lot of different prompts, and the cover is stunning. I am so excited for this. We love all the new releases coming out in the months of autumn. The next prompt is Ancient Languages, which is a translated book or a book with 5 words or more in the title. And for that I am going with Sauf Solène, which this was originally written in French. It is a middle grade graphic novel that looks stunning, and I did not know this at first and purchased the English copy. However, I am a native French speaker, so I think I'm going to see if my local library has it in French so that I can actually read it in like its original language. If not, we're gonna read it in English. So that works for that prompt, and I need a few graphic novels to like keep things light if I want to work through every single book in my TBR. And obviously there's a lot of books on here, so I'm not going to go through like every single synopsis. You'll have to follow my channel, and during my weekly reading vlogs I'm going to deep dive into the books and how I feel about them, obviously. The next prompt is Magibotony, which is a book with plants featured, and for that I am going with The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. This is beautiful. So there's technically like plants all over the cover. Also, I love the sprayed edges. I don't know how much it features plants within its story, but I know there's like berry bushes on the like chapters and stuff, so I'm assuming there's a part of it at least that has to do with plants. Either way, it fulfills the prompts just with having plants on the cover. Again, I know some people were struggling with these prompts. Look at my recommendations video, it will probably help you at least a little bit. But I'm really excited for this. It sounds like the coziest kind of romance fantasy. This with a nice cup of tea under some blankets. It's gonna help me transition out of my summer mood, because right now I'm in denial that autumn is approaching. Then we get into electives. The first elective is Musicraft, which is read a book featuring music, and I could not pick the Midnight Orchestra, which is the second book in the Mistwick School of Musicraft. I have a book review for the first book, which I absolutely adored, and obviously this whole prompt is based off my love for the first book. I will be needing to get the second audiobook, because the audiobooks are definitely the way to go with this story. I love them so much, and like I think books 3 and like any upcoming books in the series will be done only via audio, and there's novellas as well, like on Audible. So if you're looking for an audiobook for this month, I highly recommend this series, and it fulfills a lot of prompts as well. The next prompt is Unicorn and Dragon Writing, which is a book featuring dragons or unicorns, and for that I'm going with City of Dragons, The Awakening Storm, which is another graphic novel middle grade story that features dragons, which I'm super excited. Again, I'm trying to have a few lighter options so that I can actually get through everything I want to, and this would fulfill multiple prompts. If I don't get to it, I have a lot of other books that fulfill the prompts, so you know, we're trying our best here. The next prompt is the study of basic elements, which is to read a book featuring either water, fire, earth, or air. And for that, I'm going with Catching Sparks by Hannah Cohen. There's the word sparks in the title, which is related to fire, and so it works. I'm also trying to show you guys that you can stretch these prompts to fit your needs without any issues. I was feeling my TBR was a lot of fantasy, even though if a lot of it is middle grade, it's still like I needed a little bit of a breather, and so this is a small town romance, and Hannah Cohen is actually a Canadian author, so I love that. It's set in Cherry Peak. This is part of a series, and I've heard so many great things. I cannot wait to deep dive into this one. The next prompt is Healing 101, a book with a healing plot line or character that is a healer. That includes like nurses, doctors, physiotherapists, if you're into like reading romance. And I cannot believe I'm doing this myself on a month where I'm trying to read like 25 books. We're adding the next book, whatever I'm going to be up to in the Stormlight Archives. I would like to get to Oathbringer in September, because I gotta get ready for December. Like I slowed down a little bit on Words of Radiance, which is very unfortunate, but I'm planning on rectifying that this weekend. But like it needs to get done. I have committed myself to the series, and so the fact that it's like probably around 1,300 pages is alarming, but I don't really have a choice, and it fits the prompt in so many ways. Like I feel like there's such like healing magic in the Stormlight Archives, so we're gonna make it work somehow. At least part 1 of Oathbringer needs to be done. And then we get to the departments, which I am again trying to read one book for each department, because I am not going to choose one. I'm going to be part of every department, so I need to like work towards actually belonging to the departments. The first department is the Department of Half-Truths and Cover-Ups, and the class for that is Stealth, Evasion, and Concealment. A dark academia book, a book with words like secret or cheat, or a book with a secret society. For that, I'm planning on reading the Chronicles of Weatherwhy. It's the newest Anna James book, who is the author of Pages & Co. I cannot wait for this newest book. I know it has to do with a secret society. It has to do with the different seasons. The cover is stunning, and Anna James can do no wrong. That being said, again, it releases like mid-September. I think the 12th of September in the UK. And so if it doesn't get here on time, I will be reading Beneath the Swirling Sky by Carolyn Leglu. I'm not really sure how you pronounce this author's last name. This is basically like Pages & Co, but the main character, instead of going in and out of books, goes into paintings. And this was brought to my attention from a patron and good friend of mine named Sarah, who created this entire list with books to fulfill the prompts for the readathon. She is an angel, and this was on it, and immediately I was like, add to cart, I need this book. And so it's a great backup plan if I don't get to my first book or it doesn't arrive to me. Then we have the Department of Magical Studies, which is to communicate with nature. That is the first class, and that is a book featuring nature or talking animals. And for that, the obvious choice was to go with Hedge Witch by Sky McKenna. This is the first book in a middle grade series, and it is also my book club pick for the month of September. And so obviously I had to get my little paws on it. If you missed the announcement for my middle grade picks for August and September, I will leave them in the cards for you guys, but I'm extremely excited to get to this. I have been wanting to read this for a really long time. I don't know if I can access the audio for this or if I'm gonna have to like just physically read it, but I'm assuming the audiobook must be really fun. I know there's a talking cat in here. There seems to be like forest vibes, so all of it really works for this prompt. And the last prompt in this insane TBR is the Department of Supernatural Investigations. The class for this semester is Amateur Surveillance, which is a book with a thief or spy or a mystery thriller. And for that, I'm finally going to try and get to Crookhaven, the School for Thieves, which is again the first in a middle grade series. I purchased this book last year, and it's been on my radar ever since, but I wasn't able to like make it fit in my TBRs for some odd reason. But I basically thought of this book while creating this prompt, so it like automatically had to go together. I hope this is a 5-star read because the entire series looks so fun, and the concept of a school for thieves just sounds so intriguing. So those are all the books on this TBR. That being said, some of my Candyland books are much different, so we're adding to the stack. Wish me luck. Because I also have the Patreon buddy read that I think we are going with, what is it called? The Whisper Wicks, but there will be an announcement on my community tab once we officialize the book we are reading in September. But that was a like recommendation on Patreon, and I was like, that sounds amazing. And also we're gonna have our live chat most likely on the 30th or 31st of August for Impossible Creatures if you want to join. All the information will be in the description, but it's on my Patreon. So that's it for my TBR. Let me know down below what you guys plan on reading for the readathon if you are joining, and I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. So many things happening in the upcoming month, and I'll see you very soon with my Candyland TBR, some reading vlogs, and just a lot of other fun stuff. Bye guys, happy reading.